While Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin continue to fuss over the Kármán line, Elon Musk's SpaceX ignited all the engines on its super heavy booster that could fly tourists to Mars one day. In recent months, SpaceX had some failures, but on Monday, SpaceX lit up its super heavy booster for the first time at the company's Starbase rocket development site in Boca Chica, Texas. The hold-down test firing lasted for just a few seconds, but Musk described it on Twitter as a full test duration firing of 3 Raptors on Super Heavy booster. However, the Super Heavy booster would be powered by 32 Raptor engines that would help the rocket propel much heavier payloads to the Moon, to Mars, and beyond. The massive machine is designed to exert 14.5 million pounds or 6,600 metric tons of thrust for liftoff, which is approximately double that of NASA's Saturn V rocket used for the iconic Apollo missions. That is, of course, because the machine is designed to take the company's massive Starship into orbit, allowing it to travel to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. In order to get Starship into orbit, the Super Heavy booster will use 29 of SpaceX's powerful Raptor engines. So if you're looking to get insider information about the SpaceX monster Super Heavy booster, then watch this video till the end because this is something they should need to know. Hello guys, welcome to Tech Power, and today in this video, we'll be looking at the SpaceX 32-engine enormous heavy booster that is made to carry people to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. But before starting this fantastic video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. So let's get started. Elon Musk's SpaceX is gearing up to launch the first orbital flight test for Starship, the company's full-stack deep space transportation system, from the company's site in South Texas. In order to provide a successful launch, SpaceX has created a massive booster dubbed Super Heavy that is equipped with enough power to launch the Starship prototype into orbit. However, Musk posted the picture of the first Super Heavy booster on Twitter, saying that the Super Heavy booster will undergo a series of tests before being used alongside the Starship rocket. The Super Heavy booster will be tested for leakage in its fuel tank to check if it can handle the pressurization and extreme temperatures caused prior to the launch. The booster will be given a go-ahead if it manages to keep all the inflammable material stable during the test run. Not only this, the Super Heavy will approximately be 230 foot tall or 7 meters and will weigh roughly 7.7 million pounds or 3,500 metric tons with full fuel tanks. Without the Starship attached, it'll be taller than SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. This particular Super Heavy is known as Booster 3, is the latest prototype from SpaceX's Starship program that's developing a fully reusable rocket system for interstellar travel. Musk said that Booster 3's next test could involve the use of 9 engines. The Super Heavy towers at over 7 meters in height. It'll eventually carry the 50-meter-tall Starship spacecraft on top. This massive booster is created to launch Starship beyond Earth. So far, we've just seen Starship prototypes lift off on their own from the SpaceX Starbase Development Center at Boca Chica, Texas. To actually make it to orbit, Super Heavy has to enter the equation. For those keeping track, 29 engines is 2 more than SpaceX uses for Falcon Heavy launches. The Heavy utilizes 3 Falcon 9 rockets, each containing 9 Merlin engines. Raptors are also designed to deliver more than twice the thrust of each Merlin, so it's quite the power upgrade in Musk's next-generation launch system. However, you need that kind of power if you're trying to land on the Moon for NASA and eventually on Mars. SpaceX fired up a scaled-down version of the Super Heavy booster rocket equipped with 3 engines for just a few seconds. It was a hold-down test, so the rocket didn't take to the skies. Interestingly, if you thought 3 engines was a bit much, then let me tell you, the Falcon 9 rocket's first stage alone uses 9 engines. Its elder sibling, the Falcon Heavy, uses 27 engines during liftoff, and the Starship Super Heavy booster would use 32 Raptor engines. Musk also stated that adding a single Raptor engine could lift 200 times its own weight. It's no secret that SpaceX's Starship Super Heavy booster will be an absolute beast. The rocket stage, meant to launch the also huge Starship spacecraft into orbit, will be sporting an outrageous number of individual rocket engines, 32 to be exact, making it one of the biggest rocket boosters in history. When the whole system is ready, the idea is that a Starship loaded with cargo or passengers will be placed atop a Super Heavy, which will boost it out of our atmosphere. The Super Heavy can then return for a landing on Earth to be used again, just like a Falcon 9 first stage. SpaceX is planning to conduct the first orbital test flight of Starship using a Super Heavy booster sometime in the coming months. Musk clarified that the Booster 3 would mostly be used for ground tests, while the Booster 4 would perform test flights. As for SpaceX's interstellar tourism plans, if booster tests go well, the company could launch its first orbital flight with Starship in the summer. Total 23 employees working inside the booster at the same time, showing the massive scale of the machine. Of course, before the enormous machine can take the Mars-bound Starship into orbit, SpaceX needs to finish up the work on its Starship prototypes. The company is currently having a small break of its quickfire Starship prototype flights, having successfully launched and landed the Starship SN-15 in May. That mission is expected to see Starship launch from Texas, take a quick trip to space, and then perform a soft water landing off the coast of Hawaii. Though an official date has not yet been announced, SpaceX hopes to launch the uncrewed test flight before the end of 2021. Earlier this year, however, the Federal Aviation Administration warned Musk's SpaceX that the company's launch tower construction for future Starship rocket launches is still unapproved. The company will need FAA approval to advance its rocket testing. The relationship between the regulator and SpaceX has been shaky, to say the least. On multiple occasions, SpaceX has decided to go ahead and test launch its Starship prototypes despite not getting a green light from the FAA. Now, once again, SpaceX is working at a breakneck pace to get its first Starship spacecraft into orbit. Whether that'll end complying with the regulator's lengthy environmental review remains to be seen. Once a draft of the review is made public, a 30-day period for public comments will kick off. After that, the FAA will have to determine if any adjustments have to be made to comply with environmental laws. And that's likely way too much waiting for Musk. Though Elon Musk is known for settling ambitious deadlines that are often missed, SpaceX undeniably has a long list of historic achievements, including the company's first human spaceflight last year that is unrivaled by other private space firms. That means that whether it's this year or next, we're likely not too far off seeing the first launch of a Starship carrying Super Heavy. So, what do you think about SpaceX Super Heavy booster? Will this gigantic heavy booster become a major success in Musk's life, or will it become a failure? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll be happy to hear from you. And if you found this video interesting, then don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.